I only want to execute and crucify the priests that are leading the flock astray.
All right, this is tough to listen to. Chilling confession from the man accused of killing a well-known pastor up north of the valley. Adam Sheafe tells 12 News he planned to execute and then crucify more than a dozen priests before he was arrested. Pastor William Schonemann of New River was his first victim.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with Sheafe from jail. And a warning for you, what you're about to hear is very disturbing.
In other states, what do you have to say about those allegations?
All of those allegations are correct.
Speaking to 12 News from his jail cell in Coconino County, Adam Sheafe admitted to murdering 76-year-old Pastor Bill Schonemann with the goal of killing 13 other priests.
My plan was to start in Phoenix and then circle 10 states around the nation with the 13 tribes of Israel, and then to finish in Phoenix, where I was baptized.
Sheafe says his motivation behind the murders had everything to do with religion, calling it Operation First Commandment, believing the New Testament and Jesus Christ goes against the First Commandment that says you shall have no other gods before me.
His commandments have been annulled by this character called Jesus, a human being who I believe is the son of Satan.
Believing he is carrying out a crusade for God.
Have you ever considered that you're just mentally unwell?
No, I mean, maybe I'm the one that sees truth, and maybe it's everybody else that is deceived by Satan. If that makes me mentally ill for following what God says, then so be it.
He was living in California when Sheafe tells me the idea came to him to kill religious leaders. Sheafe said not much planning went into the murders, just a couple of months. That's when he decided to come to Arizona, where he stole a car and found Schonemann stalking him outside his New River church, where he was the pastor for more than 30 years.
I saw that he had a Wednesday evening Bible study, so I sat there and waited for them to arrive so that I could locate which one was the priest, and then I just followed him home. And then I returned on Sunday to execute and crucify him to his wall.
He then went into detail about what he did to Schonemann, but we aren't airing that information due to its disturbing nature and out of respect for the Schonemann family. Following the murder, Sheafe in that stolen car says he then drove up to Sedona, where he planned on killing 2 priests at the Chapel of the Holy Cross.
I set up a tent right next to that church so that I could watch those priests and identify what vehicles they were driving. And then I got in a high-speed chase with the police and escaped. Got into a car crash, got out, ran up a mountain and escaped. And I was just determined to get those 2 priests.
However, he was stopped and arrested by Sedona police, saving 13 other lives.
Had I been better prepared, I don't think there would have been any way to stop me. But with all that being said, everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Sheafe remains behind bars awaiting extradition back to Phoenix. But Sheafe says he doesn't want this to go to trial.
Put me on death row, set the execution date for right now. The victims want it, the victims' families want it, I want it, and the taxpayers want it.
Believing he won't die if executed.
I'm not saying I want to die. I'm saying you can't kill me. It's just separating the spirit from the flesh.
And Chase joins us now for the backstory. Chase, just hearing what he had to say is so disturbing. I mean, it's sick. And it just, you know, from stalking to just being so determined. What was your takeaway from all this? It almost seems as though he wanted all this fame and notoriety for what he did.
And that was one of the first questions I asked him is, why would you do this interview? Why confess to us? And he really just said he wants to get his message out there, but he did go into detail of these crimes. Again, we're not releasing all that information just because of how disturbing it is and out of respect to the family, but he was just adamant about everything. Whenever I asked him why he would do this, he said it was because of the Old Testament, calling Jesus Christ the son of Satan, going against the New Testament. He was very adamant about what he was saying in the situation.
You know, none of us are doctors here, but I think you were spot on with your question, are you mentally ill, or however you put it like that. I mean, look, even if you have those beliefs about religion, to feel like you have to act on those beliefs by this heinous, awful crime, there's got to be something, I don't want to say wrong with this guy, but there's got to be something wrong with this guy.
I mean, definitely. And I mean, when you're just listening to what he had to say, you had to ask the question about the mental health aspect and everything like that. And as you heard in the interview, he just laughed it off, calling everyone else crazy, and he's the only sane one in this world.
Yeah. You also talked to the son of the pastor.
Yes.
What was that like?
We did, yes. I just wanted to call Randall Schoenemann, the son of Pastor Bill, just to let him know, hey, we are interviewing Adam Sheafe, if he wanted to respond to it. His reaction when I told him that he admitted to these crimes was he was glad he admitted. He hopes that this will make the court process go smoother. But as you heard Sheafe say, he wants to be put on death row. He wants to just get this over with, saying it's what the victim's family wants. And Randall Schoenemann told me, I've never spoken with Sheafe. How would he know what I want?
Yeah.
He says he doesn't know if he wants the death penalty. He says he knows it's going to be 20 to 25 years before it happens, and he's still just trying to wrap his mind around this whole situation. So he doesn't know what he wants the outcome to be. He's just glad that this guy's off the streets and can't do harm to anyone else.
Yeah, and I think we need to point out, too, that he has had, probably aside of an initial appearance, he hasn't even been through the process at all.
No.
He just got arrested.
He's still in Coconino County, waiting for extradition back here to face those charges. I believe those charges are still pending for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. So he's in Flagstaff right now for unrelated charges in regards to crashing the car, burglarizing homes. That's how he would survive, because he had no money. He came from California, living on the beach, and he had nothing, so he said that he would burglarize these homes just to keep moving forward. So he's still facing those other charges before we even get to this case.
And I do think the fact that when you reach out to him, he pretty much immediately agreed to an interview.
He did.
Which just goes to show, you know, he wanted to get this sick message out.
Definitely, yeah. It was just the process of reaching him out through the facility there. Apparently inmates have tablets, and so we just sent a message request to him, and he accepted it right away, and that's how we were able to get this interview.
Wow.
All right, Chase.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us today and talking about it.